Today's Captain's Blog is made possible by a grant from Johan Thompson. Thank you, sir.
Hi there guys, welcome to today's staff meeting. I have a lovely announcement that most of you already know about because I discussed it with the majority of you in the past 3 days. We are no longer officially the Geek Group, we are officially and forevermore the National Science Institute. Also looks pretty nifty on a resume. Any questions regarding the name change? The one question I've gotten from most people is why? The answer is really simple. Pick two. You own a foundation with hundreds of millions of dollars. You're going to give $1 million to somebody. Who are you going to give it to? The Geek Group or the National Science Institute? That's why. This is a public showing of we've grown the fuck up after all these years. It's about damn time. If you'd like more details and great oratory on this, check my Facebook. It's pretty nifty. The logo will be changing. We are dropping the fundamental way that you will see this is that everything Geek Group specific, we're not going to delete it, we're not going to erase our history, we're just not going to use that in the future. We are officially legally changing the name to just the National Science Institute. Is there anything I should add?
And the URL for workplace changed?
Yeah. Okay. The main URL will change, so you'll see it reflected on business cards and stuff like that. The old URL will still work forever, but
it will just direct you to the new one?
Yeah.
But workplace is now the nsi.org.
Our emails are all going to change too.
They'll all work.
They'll all alias, but we're all going to get rid of emails. Yeah.
But so the nsi.facebook.com is where workplace went. We filed a ticket on that, and it would take a week or two, and it took 15 minutes.
Okay, that's cool.
So, try.
And what? Go.
Is this what Wikipedia was like? Hey, you have a conflict of interest this morning.
I have no idea.
Oh, let's find out. Dig into that and let me know what the hell's going on.
We're in now.
Okay, are you ready?
Almost.
Okay. You also are about to get a really cool new thing, and this applies to everyone, even you. And we're just waiting on Dave. So we're all just going to sit here and stare awkwardly at Dan for a moment.
Alright, cool. This thing decided not to fucking work. So,
do you need the Chromecast or something?
yeah, it's not working and I don't want to deal with it. So,
Jerry, fix that real quick.
well, you can just, well, I don't have time for this. So, sit down. We are instituting a rank structure and it is in play. I had a nice little PowerPoint that's not fucking working, but I also have backup. So,
Actually, I had a PowerPoint.
of course I did.
It's dripping with military.
So, Jesus Christ.
The Army runs on fucking PowerPoint.
So there are, what we're doing is dividing out roles and ranks based on a couple of key factors. We do have Officer Corps, and we do have an enlisted or crew corps, which is not to be confused with Corporal. And how this works is the same way every military has worked for the past 500 years. An officer class determines policy and mission, and your crew or enlisted carry it out. So as we look at officer ranks, they're going to make a lot of sense to you. We borrowed from the Star Trek universe for really obvious reasons, and that affects very few of you. The important thing to understand about officer ranks is that they hold a general authority over the lab and all personnel in the lab. If an officer tells you to do something, regardless of what department they are in charge of, that is the thing to do. Period. With crew or enlisted roles, they're going to specialize within a department. Your higher ranks in the enlisted roles will have general authority to carry out tasks, and they will usually stay within their department. We will have one senior ranking non-commissioned officer. For right now, that is me. It is not a position, it is a role. For me, it is temporary, please. And there's just one of us. So I will pass this around, sort of get familiar with it. This is the enlisted roles. We are starting out at crewman with one single slash. We are going to a crewman apprentice. We are then going to a petty officer second class, a petty officer first class, and a chief. Chief of the department, there's one per department, and then a senior chief petty officer, chief of the lab. Hello, that's me. The gold ranks, you'll see there, the gold slashy bits. Those folks are responsible for ensuring everyone beneath them is trained and executing the task properly.
Biscuits are up there.
What's that?
No, it's biscuits.
The biscuits. And then senior chief, hello, again from me. In addition to that line of work, the responsibility of the senior chief is to ensure interpersonal conflicts are being managed, people are trained, that departments are running, that major tasks are being accomplished, and that 5,000 people per day aren't running up to Moose asking where the stapler is. Because I will hit now. I will use my fists and hit, or a baseball bat. Whichever is closest, I will beat people if they ask her for a stapler. I swear. I swear I will do this. So when we break it down by department, we have roles already somewhat assigned, and they sort of follow what we've already been doing. So going through the list, Chris, you are captain?
God, that's a new one on me.
Weird.
I have to get used to that. I'll need a better chair.
So our two highest rankings, captain and commander. Ms. Moose is our executive director and executive officer. She is holding the rank of commander. That is 3 dots. Captain is 4 dots. 2 dots is going to be all of our other senior staff at lieutenant commander. That includes Batman, Elizabeth, Will, Bill. Bill, I say Will. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry. I take that back. And of course Becky. Below the rank of lieutenant commander, we don't have anyone sitting in that slot. That is going to be a lieutenant role. And then all of our interns, because they are on tracks to become an officer corps, and they are doing those tasks, they are cadets. Our open door staff have been assigned lieutenant rank for the time being. That means they have general authority, and you don't talk to them, you don't mess with them, and if they ask you to do something, you do that. Period. No questions asked.
Also, a slight change on that. She's senior staff now.
Okay. Welcome to 2 dots instead of 1. For our department chiefs, that's easy to tease out. Joey is chief of facilities. Mr. Bellatini is chief of the AV department.
No, he's not.
How is he not?
Elizabeth's staff is.
No.
He's a chief, she's a... Okay.
Yeah. Stay with me.
Okay, I'm with
I'm
you.
going fast.
I'm with you.
So what that means in Mr. Bellatini's department, if someone is assigned there and he says do this, they do that. Period. And they don't go running to Elizabeth saying, oh my gosh, Stephen told me to paint a dinosaur and I don't want to do that. Because that's jumping the chain of command. And that's where we get into the fun part of it. As we grow as an organization, there are ranks at the bottom that most of us in this room do not sit in. But people will fill those. And this is how the chain of command works. You go up. Within your departments, you are going to put people in specific roles, and you are going to define exactly what your chain of command looks like. But before you go running to an officer or senior staff, you go through your chain of command, you talk to your chiefs. This doesn't apply to officer corps, obviously. And we try to handle things, and this is super important, guys, at the lowest possible level. Say that with me. Lowest possible level. Okay. Again.
Lowest possible level.
All right. Which means no one should be coming to me asking where the fucking staplers are. I don't know why this is sticking in my head. It's kind of been a constant problem. So,
It's because last week on Friday, you were next to me at my desk when 4 different people that work here came and asked me where it was.
oh my god, you're right. You're right. I will beat someone to a pulp over a stapler. So, to finish filling out our roles, Joey, Facilities Chief, Stephen, Chief of AV, you are Chief of IT.
Okay.
Your guys' responsibilities is to make sure everybody under you in a crew position is trained. And the reason why you are responsible for that is because you know your jobs and your roles better than anybody else, and only you know how to train people to do jobs within your departments. That's why we're separated. You're an intern. Good job.
He's the only intern today.
I would put that down.
I don't have you on my list for some reason.
Bruce should almost be, can there be 2 chiefs per?
No, Bruce just became a petty officer.
Yes. Petty officer first class. Good job. And for the time being, the role you're sitting in is Chief of Administration. You better make sure everybody's trained on how to use this desk. So, going forward, I'm going to be getting down. I'm going to be getting down, throwing some music on. I'll be sitting down with everybody individually, starting with department chiefs to outline what senior staff expectations are for your roles, how to do the nitty-gritty of leadership in terms of training people and making sure everything's done to a specific standard, and then we'll work down from there. So going forward, that's where I'm going to be sitting, that's what I'm going to be doing. Do I have any questions at this time? Yes.
Is it possible to have, I think I know this, but 2 in the same role? 2 people in the same role? Example, what I'm
2
thinking
chiefs
of,
of the department.
yeah, is that Jacob and I consider ourselves co-directors of the board's department. So, does that work in the system?
Yes. Yes, that can be accommodated. Your weird socialist club downstairs.
That's like consoles.
Yes, you are. Triumvirate, I think it is. Proconsuls of your republic. No, we've assigned you officer rank so that you have authority in this facility and that nobody messes with you. Nobody gets into your biz.
The fundamental idea here is you're seeing a reversal of the power structure. Because for the entire history of the Geek Group, we've always had the same organizational base structure as far as actual responsibilities go that we've had since it was me, Moose, and Mikey bombing around a warehouse in Kazoo. And when it was just 3 people, it was really easy to do that. The problem is, now we have 1 million people, and Moose, me, and Batman are handling 90% of the shit. Like, it all rolls uphill, all the time. There's no filter. What this does is codifies in a very simple, easy to understand way that it isn't just us with all the power. I am not a god. All of you have power and responsibilities, and this lets everybody know this is what I can do, and anybody on this side of the chart can come to me with this shit, and this is my problem. Big problems, like epic shit, well, shit rolls uphill. That's just how it works in this company. But for a lot of the stuff, a lot of the day-to-day, you guys can actually solve this stuff so that Moose, me, the senior staff can actually handle the big hairy shit.
A lot of questions get brought to me where the decision could have been made by the person who brought the question, and you didn't need to bring it at all. Or it's a problem where you could have resolved it and then just mentioned that it is a thing that happened, and everybody keeps seeking permission for things that you really have the authority to do.
This basically, like a lot of people, and I'm going to catch a lot of flack, they're like, oh, this is militaristic, this is elitist. Okay, it's really this simple. At no point in his entire career in this company should Bill ever have to worry, how are we going to pay the light bill today? It doesn't happen. That's my worry. That's a worry at this level. I should at no point ever have to worry about why is there a big pile of shit as you walk into the CRC on the left. That's not my problem. That's Bill's problem. If I have a problem with that, I take it down the chain of command. If Bill has a problem too big for him to fix, if any of you have a problem that you can't fix, it's too big for you, you take it up a step. And it keeps coming up until it gets all the way to the top and then we ignore it. But that's how that works. Any questions? Cool.
So, the other side of this is that as senior staff, which is most of our officer corps, is doing their daily meetings, we will be doing weekly chiefs meetings, where senior staff is meeting to determine policy, where senior staff is meeting to determine mission. We will be meeting to determine what personnel issues we have, what training requirements we have, what our readiness is for any given mission, so that we as department chiefs are ready to put our people to work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It feels like splitting the hair, to be honest. And I know it feels like that, but it is super important and a super important distinction. Because as we grow, we have to be responsible for our people and we have to be ready to make sure they are ready. So, I think that's all I have, boss.
Cool. Anything else? Hit it.
Are we have like a picture on the wall that explains this all to us?
Yeah, I will be sending out an email.
There will be charts. It's not hard.
The system you passed around isn't quite 100%.
There will not be epaulets. There will be pips and squeaks. And we will have some mojo. I also want to see, is this possible? Because I know we can, like,
What do you want?
I want to print on a t-shirt on the arm, on the side of the arm. Like, I know we can do front and back. Can we do the side of the arm?
Yeah,
Okay.
My shirts don't have arms.
yeah. We'll just tattoo you, Joe.
We'll do it right in your arm
I
first.
can get a tattoo, I don't care.
We'll get you a dye job.
I figured that we're redoing the ID cards for our
Yeah.
branding, they'd be on
Yep, they'll be on your ID cards. And we're going to have a radical, awesome new design on the ID cards. It's going to be cool. Any other questions? Cool.
Oi. All right.
We're there. Thank you, everyone. What?
Well, everyone's here. I need two things. It would be nice if we had everyone come together and help clear off the green tables, because that's not happening. Two, if you have some people help me carry in the track lighting in the back of my car.
Okay, that can go straight to Studio B. Has everybody noticed that since we fired Josh, the green tables now get clogged? Thank you.
I'm constantly running stuff down.
I know. Thank you, everyone. Dismissed.
Today's Captain's Blog is made possible by a grant from Johann Thompson. Thank you, sir.